Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Behind me, 2005 Dodge Dakota. We're gonna be replacing the power steering rack. Pretty straightforward job, so let's get started. First thing we wanna do is suck out as much power steering fluid from the reservoir as possible. So just help limit the mess we'll be making. We undo the lines. Now, if you don't have a suction or you can't get the fluid out, that's okay. Just when you pull the lines off, let it drip into your catch pan. That's it. So now we want to jack both tires up off the ground, put them on jack stands. So we're going to pull our tie rod off. We want to crack the nut first. This is a 24 mil. It may be different on yours, but ours is a 24. Tap it with a hammy. There we go, nice. Came off pretty easy actually. And you just need it loose, doesn't have to come all the way back. Take off our little cotter pin. Looks like this tie rod wasn't replaced too long ago. I'll get a pair of pliers. Now if you do have a cotter pin, having a pair of side cutters works really good for just bending these things, pushing them through, grabbing on them. You get a nice good bite. There we go. So this one's a 21 millimeter. Again, yours might be different. This is aftermarket. We'll give our knuckle a few whacks. I'm gonna move the camera back a little to get a better swing at it. There we go. Okay, and then we'll count threads so we can get it pretty close. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 27 on mine. Then we'll take our nut all the way off. All right, let's do the exact same thing to the other side. Well, I'll work on getting this off later. I may have to use a little heat, or we can get a new tie rod in, and usually they come with a new nut. Now that we're underneath the vehicle, the front of the vehicle is in that direction. We have this 13 millimeter bolt. It's a pinch bolt we'll pull off, and then our steering column can just be pushed up and separated from our rack. Then we have these two line nuts that come off. They're an 18 millimeter. If all you have is an open end wrench, it should be okay. They're not on there crazy tight, but having a line wrench really is the best. So we got those two. And remember, it's gonna be filled with fluid, so just have your catch pan underneath ready to catch it. Once that's off, we have this bolt here, and then this bolt over here, 24 millimeter. We'll pull those off. Then the whole rack can be slid to the right-hand side or the passenger side, then down and out the driver's side or the left-hand side. If you need to lock your steering wheel, go ahead. It will lock on its own if you have the key out. Let's see if I can just push on it, how hard it is to come off. Oh, not too hard at all. Now they are keyed, so it should go on one way. 18 millimeter. Oh, nice. And then this one. Nice. So now that I got them loose, actually what I'm gonna do is take my 24s off, and I'll do these last so they're not dripping on me. Okay, wasn't too bad. There we go. Now these are through bolts, so if you need, you can have a wrench on one end and a wrench on the other, or a socket or an impact, whatever you got. So that was really easy. Oh, there we go. Little drippage. I should have done the bottom one first. Nice. Okay, so let's just pop these off the rack. One there. Let's do this one. There we go. Over this way, down, and out. Just like that. Thanks, Dodge. That was easy. So now I want to take our old rack and our new rack, line them up, make sure everything looks the same, and you'll notice they're not the same. You see the mounting bolts here, different. Even this is a splined, This is not. This is like a rectangle square. Even this, everything's different. So that's a bummer. I think it was just misboxed because when I looked up the part number, the box had the part number. When you look at the picture of the part, it looks like that, but this definitely is not the right rack. So I think it was just misboxed. So I have another one coming, and hopefully that one will be the right one. In the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and get that nut off. Just use a little heat, a little torch, heat it up, cherry red, it should buzz right off. Nothing like a little heat. All right, that one looks better. Got the 2 mounting holes. Let me just double check this, but I'm sure it is the same. Come on, buddy. Pop off. Yep, got that rectangle. Perfect. So let's slap it up. All right, now I'll take our rack and do the opposite. It'll slide from the driver's side up and in, and then back like that. Okay. Then we'll get our long bolts through the other side. There's one. All right, there's the other one. Just toss the nuts on it. Perfect. Okay. Put this on here. Just like that. I think these are different sizes. They are. So the fatter one goes up top, smaller one or skinnier one goes on the bottom. So it's nice they did that for us. We're also gonna replace our O-rings here. They should come with your new rack. Pop these little buddies off. All right, got it all kind of just set in. Wipe up some of this stuff. Now our steering column pinch bolt, I'm gonna go ahead and put just a little bit of Loctite on. Just the tip here, put that through. All right, I'll lay out some torque specs for you. You can pause the video here. What I like to do once I torque them is mark the bolt. Mark the bolt, all the bolts get marked. That way I don't forget anything. And then before the vehicle drives off back to the customer, I can give it just one more quick glance and know I got it all. Okay. We are done under here. Let's go put the tie rods back on. All right, put our nut on. Now remember the amount of turns it took. All right, there we go. Now we're reusing the lock washer, so we want to just put a little bit of Loctite on the threads here. Now we'll lock our jam nut. Now if the inner tie rod wants to spin, we want to hold it in place. So like this wants to spin, which is fine. We'll just get a wrench on it, hold it in place. Otherwise we're messing up our thread count when we put our tie rod back on. Let's get a torque spec. We'll do the exact same thing to the other side. Now this does not need Loctite because it has a little cotter pin for the castle nut. It's just when you're reusing a lock nut with that little nylon lock washer, that's when we use the Loctite. After you torque it, if it's not lined up with the hole, just tighten it up a little more until that next little castle slot is where you want it. So you don't back it off, you always just tighten it to the next one. Looks good. Get a new cotter pin. So let's throw our tires on, then we'll go through the bleeding procedure for the power steering system. All right, bleeding procedure, pretty simple. Steering wheel all the way to the left to start, and we'll do our initial fill. This was a partial already, so then we just want to let it sit, let any of the bubbles just come out on their own. Once you've let it sit for about 2 minutes, then we'll go inside the vehicle, crank it all the way to the right, double check fluid level, top it off as needed. At that point, you're just lock to lock, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, back all the way to the left, to the right, left, right, about 20 times. Key on, engine off. Once you've done that about 20 times, then we want to go ahead, double check fluid level. If everything looks good, we'll start it up. Of course, your tires are still off the ground at this moment, so we haven't set the vehicle back down yet. Then when you start the vehicle, crank it all the way to the left, all the way to the right. You're just listening for pump noise. It should be nice and quiet, nice power steering. Then we can go ahead, lower the vehicle, and then do it on the ground. Again, nice quiet pump noise, nice good power steering, and that's it. Once you've bled the system, now it's just a matter of taking it to the alignment shop and getting her fine-tuned. All right, there you go. That's how you can place a power steering rack on a Dodge Dakota. Probably one of the easiest, straightforward power steering racks I've ever replaced. So thank you, Dodge, for your design on this one, and thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, please like, subscribe. See you on the next one.